Welcome to Hire Power, the show where we cut through the noise and get real about hiring. I'm Kim Frost, founder of Frost Connections, and after 25 plus years in the search industry, I've seen what works and what absolutely doesn't. If you're a founder, CEO, VP, or HR leader who's tired of bad hires and ready to build a team that actually fits your culture and vision, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. The candidate experience. What does it say about you and your culture? The interview is a two-way street, and candidates are paying attention. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Hire Power. I'm Kim Frost, and today we're diving into a topic too many companies still treat as an afterthought, the candidate experience. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, Kim, of course we care about treating candidates well. Let's have an honest moment. If I called 3 people who interviewed with your team last month, would they say the experience was respectful, organized, and gave them a clear sense of your culture? Or would I hear words like confusing, aloof, black hole, maybe a little standoff? Because here's the truth. Your interview process is not just an evaluation tool. It's a cultural reveal. And more importantly, it's a two-way street. You're not just interviewing them, they're interviewing you. So let's look at the interview. It's a preview for both sides. So let's flip the script for a second. That candidate that you're meeting with, the one with 3 other interviews lined up, they're watching everything. How you communicate, how prepared your team is, whether you follow through, whether your values are more than words on a wall. Really? It starts when you walk through the door. Is there someone there to greet them? And is that person happy? Do they know that your candidate is even arriving? One of my clients, when they had someone interviewing, they reserved a room for them, call it a home base. The candidates could put their belongings there, take breaks there, take calls in there. But my client, they went a step further. They put the candidate's name on the door outside the room. This took maybe a minute to do? However, every single candidate we interviewed for this client, they all mentioned this little thing. And again, they stepped through the door, you showed them the office, they had their nameplate on. It made them feel special. Heck, they even did that for me when I was visiting on site. Candidates are asking themselves, do I trust the leadership team? Do I feel seen and heard? This is a huge thing right now for Gen Zs. Is this a place I can grow or just a place to collect a paycheck? Is the team happy? Yes, candidates absolutely pick up the vibe of your employees. That is part of your brand after all. If your process is sloppy, disjointed, or feels like a one-sided interrogation, guess what? You're answering those questions for them. So we all know it's not just about filling a seat. Look, I get everyone is busy. What's one of my favorite things I say? We all have the same amount of one thing, and that's time. You're stretched thin, and hiring can feel like one more thing on your to-do list. But if you're too busy to treat a candidate with respect, clarity, and a little humanity, you're not ready to hire. And let's be honest, the best candidates don't need your job. They have options. And if your process, which I like to call experience, doesn't make them feel like a priority, they'll move on to someone who does. The interview isn't just about evaluating a resume. We can put anything on paper. What it really is about, the interview, is building a relationship. It's your chance to show what kind of a leader you are, how your team collaborates, and what your company actually feels like. What does a great two-way interview feel like? First is clear communication, before, during, and after the process. Interviewers who are prepared, engaged, and curious, not just ticking a box. time for the candidate to ask questions and get answers. And most importantly, and my favorite, transparency about the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's no sense of trying to mask your challenges, because do you really want to hire someone and have them walk through the door and not expect to face that? And here's a big one that I particularly love. Even if you're not moving forward, give them feedback. Close the loop with the candidates. Because ghosting candidates, that tells them more about your culture than your mission statement ever could. And I cannot tell you how many candidates have shared with me they've been on site to interview, some even up to 3 and 4 times, and then radio silence. And this is after the candidate has sent emails or calls. I had a candidate recently who told me they'd work for my client in a heartbeat. Why? Because when the CEO took them around their plant, the CEO said hello to everyone and knew everyone's name and looked everyone in the eye. Again, these are little subtleties that your top performers, top candidates are going to pick up. Those are the candidates you want working for you. They notice. That team didn't just land a great hire, they built trust before day one. And regardless if candidates were offered the job or not, they left with such an amazing experience. On the flip side, I've had candidates turn down offers not because of comp, not because of the role, but because the interview process made them question the culture. The interview really is your first leadership moment. It's your chance to make a strong first impression or leave a lasting bad one. So here's my challenge. Take a fresh look at your interview process. Would you want to go through it? Does it reflect your values? Are you showing up like a company that candidates would be proud to join? Because the interview is not a one-way test, it's a two-way conversation. A preview of what life will be like inside your walls. And again, the best candidates, they're not just answering your questions, they're asking, do I trust this person to lead me? Thanks for listening. If this episode got you thinking or made you realize your process, or what I like to say, experience, needs a refresh, reach out. I'm always happy to talk hiring that actually works. Until next time, keep showing up like the leader you'd want to work for, and keep hiring with intention. That's it for this episode of Hire Power. If you're ready to hire smarter, connect with me at frostconnections.com or at LinkedIn at Kim Frost. And if you've got something to say about today's episode, follow the show and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, hire smart, lead better, and remember, how you hire is who you become. See you next week. No fluff, just better hires.